Hello, welcome to the next episode in my series on the films of Steven Soderbergh. Today I'm going to be focusing on Ocean's 11 and Ocean's 12, which of course were both directed by Mr. Soderbergh. Both starred George Clooney, Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, and a host of others including John Cheadle, Bernie Mac, Julia Roberts, Scott Caan, Elliot Gould, Casey Affleck, Carl Reiner, a bunch of guys. The first one was screenwritten by Ted Griffin, who also wrote Tower Heist, the Brett Ratner flick that just opened. And Ocean's 12 was written by George Nolfi, who went on to direct Matt Damon in The Adjustment Bureau. So, I'm not going to get into Ocean's 13 too much because I really don't like that movie very much. I think it's pretty lousy, actually. Ocean's 11, good, heist flick, basically. Pretty fun, very lightweight, not a lot at stake here, no one's dying or anything like that. It's a bunch of guys who get together, really good at pulling scams, and very smart, and are robbing Andy Garcia. Andy Garcia is the owner of a casino, and he is currently in a relationship with Julia Roberts, who is George Clooney's ex-wife. So George Clooney goes to Brad Pitt when he gets out of prison and goes, hey, how about we go rob this guy's casino, make a bunch of money, $150 million, and Brad Pitt's like, cool, let's get a team together. So they assemble their guys, and they go about plotting this elaborate scheme in order to get into the vault at the Bellagio Hotel and get all the money and get out of there without getting caught, or without without Andy Garcia finding out who exactly is responsible for the robbery. Because if necessary, he won't just go to the law for help. He'll have his own people take care of that, and that's not going to end well for anybody. Now, I like Ocean's 11, but it's a pretty lightweight movie, pretty inconsequential. There's one thing that I find is a little bit odd about it is the fact that stuff seems to go wrong, but in fact is just actually a trick on the part of the thieves. It's kind of like the audience is being tricked just as much as Andy Garcia in a lot of ways. Of course, I didn't fall for every gag, but a lot of them I did fall for. So the audience is really put in the position not of the protagonist, but of the antagonist, which is a little unusual. Also, my favorite scene in the movie is where they gather around a fountain that has a computer-controlled jet sprays. It's a very famous fountain, very distinctive fountain in Las Vegas. And they're sort of basking in the afterglow of having pulled off a job well done. And one by one, they walk away and kind of wave goodbye to each other as they leave. And I really liked this scene a lot. I thought it was great, especially the music. And then I found out it was actually a rip-off of another movie. So it was a little disappointing. Now, Ocean's 12 was not nearly as well liked as Ocean's 11. It's a lot of people just felt scammed by it, I guess, and that might have something to do with the fact that Clooney and Brad Pitt and a lot of the other guys who were part of the cast spent a great deal of time on yachts relaxing in Europe during the shoot, and people, I guess, were angry about that. They were acting like movie stars. It was captured in a lot of tabloid magazines, but also I think they felt a little cheated by the storyline as well, and I just don't understand why. I like Ocean's 12 a lot. I think it's better than the first one. I think it's a little bit more character-driven than the first one, and it's just more fun. It's more experimental. It's more playful, really. I mean, the first one is playful, but this one even more so. And there's a lot of sort of metaphysical stuff going on. For those of you who've seen the movie, probably will remember that one of the principal cast members, is playing a character who is pretending to be a famous person, the famous person being the very actor who is playing the character. So you've got an actor playing a character who's pretending to be the famous actor that they are being played by. Something like that. It's nuts. And when I saw them planning to pull this scheme, and they were sort of talking around it so as to preserve the suspense for the audience, I thought to myself, they're not going to do that, are they? Are they really going to do that? They are! That's great! I love that! It's so much fun. The style of both Ocean's 11 and Ocean's 12 is very much derived from 60s movies. I know this guy who was really a big fan of movies that were made in the 60s, and the whole cinematic style behind it, the kind of shooting style and cutting style, a lot of it is replicated in Ocean's 11 and especially in Ocean's 12 a lot. There's maybe even more experimentation going on in Ocean's 12. He throws in some handheld camera work in as well. He throws in just a lot of, some filtration of the images as far as color goes, and yeah, it's just, the whole thing is just sort of, it's all a lark, it's all big lark, and these movies are not really that important, all in all, in the grand scheme of things. They made money, they were well received, or at least they made, money. I don't know how well received Ocean's 12 was overall. It really irritated me when I heard things like Bernie Mac talking about Ocean's 13 is like, oh yeah, we know a lot of people didn't like Ocean's 12, so Ocean's 13 is going to be more like Ocean's 11. I'm like, screw you, man, I like Ocean's 12. I want it to be more like that. And I really didn't like Ocean's 13 at all, because not only was there a lot of dumb stuff happening, just stupid stuff like, manipulating images on a computer that had already been downloaded. How is that possible? How is it possible for a guy across the town to manipulate images when they've already been downloaded on a guy's computer and already there up on screen? It doesn't make sense. And the first half of the movie is pretty grim as well. There's not a single lighthearted moment in the entire first half of the movie, which is a little not really appropriate for Ocean's movie. And there's just, it's just generally kind of dumb overall. But yeah, Ocean's 11 I like, Ocean's 12 I like a lot. So there you go. This, lots of people have seen these movies, of course. If you hadn't, I would recommend them, but, it's not like I would urge you to rush out and see them because they're super important. They're important to Soderbergh because they were big hits for him, and at that point, especially when Ocean's 11 came out, he had just won his Oscar for Best Director, and he had just made Aaron Brockovich in Traffic, and everybody wanted to work with him. Everybody. He was very, very well liked in the industry, and so that was great for him. Now, the next video I'm going to be putting up on this will be next week, and it will be on the two movies that Soderbergh made with Benicio del Toro, who he worked with in Traffic. They're two movies about Ernesto Che Guevara, and they are called Che Part 1 and Che Part 2. So I hope you'll join me for that. If you'd like to make a video of your own on any of Soderbergh's films and attach it to mine, I will add it to the playlist of Soderbergh-related videos that I'm building right now. The link to that is below if you'd like to check it out. See you next week. Thanks very much for watching, and have a good one. Bye.